I think I felt all along that the right place to put the sculpture would be where Johnny Kilbane lived, in the district anyway. The idea that he would have been there from childhood through to the peak of his career and as an old man.
What happens there is the whole site sort of slips over this way.
Yeah.
Inside the Battery Park area, we met with Matt Zone and John Spear, and it was wonderful that they showed such enthusiasm for the project and willingness to do anything necessary in order to make the thing happen.
You got the beautiful lake.
So that's the concept I came with. It's the first one, which is the one which doesn't like having the light behind it. Apart from Margaret and the O'Toole family, they were now the next people to see the potential sculptures that I'd come with. I showed the plan and they discussed possibilities for siting the sculpture within the Battery Park area. They were specifically interested in that area, but in that Battery Park was my favourite location anyway, this suited very well. There were a few meetings I had to do where I needed to present the ideas to a larger group of people than just one or two at a time. Always a slightly challenging thing because you have no idea how people are going to receive them. The first was in the wine bar at Battery Park, where it was a fundraising event with people who might be interested in supporting the project. And I would say that there was generally a very positive feel from the people who were there, and it finished up by being a wonderful evening. The thing which was disturbing me while I was there was that with two ideas on offer, that there was absolutely no favourite coming out. And I went back to bed that night and I thought, I have no idea at all which of the two sculptures I'm offering is going to be the winner on this one. It left me kind of tired at the end of the evening, thinking, how is this going to all unravel?
And your able-bodied assistant can join you?
In a kind of community office, there was a meeting with the residents and concerned people, because public art is for the public. You can't come and sort of project your own ideas into a public space and go along and say, well, I'm an artist, I know best, because we don't know best, but these are the people who are going to have to live with the sculpture. So I was very concerned how people would respond. And you also know that conflict is going to come into it. If you listen too carefully and try to get everybody to agree, you can finish up with a bad sculpture in the end, because it becomes too much of a compromise. So to actually hold the sort of decisiveness as the artist while listening to people at the same time, that becomes very difficult. I was very pleased with how it went at the meeting. I think there were one or two people who possibly weren't quite so happy about the concept of a figurative sculpture going into the site. But the fact, I think, that I was coming with two fairly strong ideas, I think gave the potential for each person to have their input.
I think that the three is a more complete representation of all the comments that people have made and what we're trying to accomplish, and it's more meaningful in a lot of different ways.
In order to make your pattern. I'd come with two different ideas. One which could fit on one side of the road. The other sculpture I came with was not going to work in that site. And I knew that all along, and I presented it saying it will not work here. But Matt Zone and John Spear were very quick to offer a possible site on the other side of the road, which meant that you would be viewing the sculpture with the south light. You'd have the light hitting the sculpture in the right way. And this was a game changer for me. Instead of making the sculpture to fit the location was being chosen to fit the sculpture. And this really is ideal way of working when you've got a complex idea to try to get across.